Hey guys, it's Friday night once again, and you know how we do our Friday night thing here at the Man Cave. We're going to have Chef Eric Gephart on with us tonight. He was just here, and I think he might be having a little bit of technical difficulty. We'll give him a minute here to see if he finds his way back into our system here, and in the meantime, we'll pour a drink. I think tonight I'm going to have a little bit of this 12-year-old Knob Creek. This is a really good bourbon. I am a big fan. Let me get that popped out, and hopefully Chef will make it back into the house here in just a minute. I swear he was just here, and he popped. He went invisible on me right before we were ready to come live. Russ is with us, having a Sazerac ride. That sounds good. Cheers, everybody. I did pick up a new bottle this week that I haven't opened yet. I went to Atlanta Grill Company on Tuesday, and I stopped at a place not too far from there, and I ended up with a bottle of the Elmer T. Lee single barrel that I'm going to crack open sometime really soon here. Let me hope everybody's had a good week. And I don't have any other stuff pulled up here ready to talk about. So let's hope Eric makes it back into the fold here with us. Let me check and see. Let me get another window opened up here, and I'll see if I can get him back with me. It is Friday, and I had a good cooking week. I published video today on the SCA style steak video, and I used the Steak Cook-Off Association guidelines. I'm sending Eric a quick message to see if I can bring him back with us. But I cooked a steak using those guidelines, and I published the video today. Hang on just a second. Eric said he's with me. I don't see him in here, so I'm trying to bring him back. He says he's here, but here we go. There we go. Good morning, Chef. There, we got you now, Eric.
John, I think our audio is a little crunched up. Can you hear me well?
I hear you just fine.
I can't make out what you're saying. Let me leave and jump back in.
Okay. So we'll bring Eric back here in just a moment. But I published that video on Atlanta Grill Company's YouTube channel and Facebook page today. If you want to have a look, the SCA steak competition has a stringent set of rules about how you cook a ribeye. They want it. They're judging it on a lot of things. In appearance is one of the things, and cooking it to a medium temperature is another one. So, okay, I got Eric back. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just telling these guys about the steak competition, or the Steak Cook-Off Association video I made this week. Are you familiar with the SCA?
I got third place in Australia in SCA at beef stock. Yeah,
that's awesome. So you know how hard they are on their rules. I was just talking about the steak has to be the first thing that my audience hates is that they make you cook it to a medium temperature. These guys that you'd think hell had opened up and Satan himself was reaching out of the ground to pull you in for cooking a steak 5 degrees warmer than you might have otherwise. So, but I cooked the perfect medium. I think I really did get a perfect medium. I pulled these steaks off when I was hitting 130, and they temped up to about 135. They didn't get to 140, but my color on that medium was right there where I wanted it to be. The taste and texture were good for me. I don't know how they judge texture. My appearance needs a little work. I got nice grill marks with my grill grates, but the spaces between the grill marks, I didn't get quite as much caramelization there as I'd like to have gotten. So I'm thinking about some other things I can do to improve that, which might include getting a little sugar into the mix somewhere. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason I like a lot of Lane's barbecue stuff. They use larger granule and they tend to have sweeter rubs, salt and sweet, which you don't think of being on beef, but it sure does help on that caramelization. When I was doing SCA, the one time I did it in Australia, I actually used a soapstone or a cast iron, and I went for just complete caramelization. I didn't even do grill marks and still landed third place. You know how I feel about grill marks. I think they should have gone out in the 80s with edible flowers. I got zero use for perfect.
I agree with you a lot of times, but man, when you look at how deeply ingrained these judges are on the appearance, I'm with you. When I'm cooking steak here, I use the soapstone because I want that sear across the entire surface. The grill marks look better on camera. They have maybe a little more presentation value, but the flavor value is not there. And I've never seen any indication anywhere that anyone's won an SCA event without using grill grates, without the grill marks. So I went that route. I've got grill marks. I cooked on my PK360, which is a steak cooking machine, especially with the grill grates. But you can flip those grill grates over and cook on the flat side and, cook whatever. You having a drink with us tonight, Chef?
Yeah, I'm doing a little Nobilo Sauvignon Blanc this evening, and I thought I'd like
in a mason jar.
Yeah. Come on, Chef.
I've never seen anybody drink wine out of a mason jar. Okay, I'm gonna start drinking my whiskey out of a mason jar. I'm gonna get one of my small mason jars out, and that's gonna become my whiskey glass. I'm impressed.
Absolutely, and extra point, Chef, if at one point in time it had some kind of pickled vegetable in it,
Well, all of my mason jars have had something pickled in them at one time or another. Because I use them. I do a lot of pickled onions. They've also had barbecue sauce in them. They've had all kinds of sauces in them because I just recycle. I've got a bunch of them with roasted coffee beans in them right now. That's another rabbit hole I've gotten into that I'm not sure how we're going to survive this yet. But so what's new in Chef Eric's world?
Bro, I am packing my bags as we speak. I'm missing people, bro. Like it's nobody's freaking business. So I'm cooking for probably about 300 people on the 4th at the Tides Inn in Virginia on the Chesapeake Bay, and they've got I think they've got a Big Joe, a Classic Joe, and a Kettle Joe. So they've got KJs. I'll take the family up there and we'll just freaking throw down. And
this is the same place you were going to cook last time I had you on.
It was such a blast. I mean,
is it an event? Is it an event you've got a link for somewhere?
It's a sold out event at this point, but I'm going to go up like 4 times a year. So next time I'll give everybody a heads up and just say, hey, this is when we're going to be up. This is what we're doing. But after that, I'm home for a couple of days. I'll celebrate a birthday with the family, and then I'm headed to North Dakota to do a cooking event up there. And I've never been to North Dakota, so I'm excited about that.
I've never been to North Dakota. What kind of events you got happening there?
There's a store up there called Shields, and they have 27.
I'm familiar with that. Is it SEELS?
EELS.
Yeah, I ordered something from them last week.
How about that? You ought to come with me. You ought to come with me.
I ordered a bag from them. a 511 tactical sling bag. This is my EDC bag. I got a new one.
Nice.
They had it
Nice.
when I was searching it online. They had a deal, so I didn't know they were in North Dakota though. That's kind of cool. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they're around that area, 27 stores, and think about like a, I don't know, like a Gander Mountain or a Dick's Sporting Goods on steroids. They're huge.
right. Okay.
So I'm going to train up all the buyers and the main sales guys, 80 people, and I've got a menu. I've been doing this really cool thing with full New York strip loins, where I'll treat them like a prime rib,
Right.
uh, except not take them to medium rare. I'll take it to rare, so I'll be at about 115 degrees.
Mhm.
I'll let that whole thing rest, and then if this is the center of this thing, you know how they're longer than they are wide. I'll cut
Right.
them lengthwise into thirds,
Yeah.
and then that's low and slowed for an hour and 15 minutes or so. Then I'll season up the newly revealed side, blast sear it, and then slice it with that North Carolina comeback sauce. And it is by far become my favorite steak. Talking about steaks, SCA steaks. It has become New York strip with that method blows any ribeye out of the water that I've ever had, whether you're talking about a standing rib roast or just a grilled ribeye. I mean, just fantastic. I love it. I love it.
Have you hung one of those in your dry ager yet and
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
that?
I got that steak locker, man. That thing is pretty sweet. I got to be
Yeah.
honest. I've been pretty lazy recently. It's just holding a bunch of white wine right now. But I did do 100-day, a 65-day, and a 25-day, and then did a taste test. And
Well,
yeah, dry aging is a funny thing. It goes through this period of blue cheese, and then it gets past it. So like the
right.
100-day and
Well,
the
one of these days, hopefully before the end of the summer, I'm considering biting the bullet and getting a dry aging locker, getting one of those steak lockers. Um, I'm I really like dry aging, or I really like the result, and I haven't played around enough with it. I haven't gone past my sweet spot so far has been the 30 to 35 days. I haven't gone out and really experimented a lot beyond that. But one of the things I've been reading about is this guy. His name's escaping me. Uh, he was on that Netflix Chef's Table Barbecue. It's the guy that cooks everything over fire. And I bought his book, and his name's escaping me here at the moment. But he does a 200-day dry age, and one of the
yeah, if you're yeah, go ahead.
things he does that makes his dry age different is, have you seen the people who coat their steaks in butter? And
Yeah,
okay, that doesn't really do a dry age, but this
no,
guy's doing that. But what's different about his process is he is starting the dry age process normally in a normal dry aging environment. And when it gets to some point in that process, I think it may be 30 or maybe 45 days, then he is coating that in butter. After that enzymatic reaction has already started within the beef, he's
yeah,
coating it to where it doesn't become leather all the way through, and he's holding that thing out there for like 200 days. And I'm wondering if there's any merit to that. I don't have the resources to even attempt something like that, but I'm wondering if I know putting it in butter to begin with is just like wet aging. You're not really dry aging anything, but I'm wondering if once you get those
yeah.
enzymes going in there, if that's going to work on through, and with the butter coating, you're not really going to lose any additional moisture beyond that point, and it would keep the exterior of that beef to a point where you could manage it for that long and not have to shave it all off as dog food or whatever at the end. Do you think
Yes,
that would work?
I am always very careful about when I take oxygen away from things for a very long period of time. Because when you talk about aerobic or non-aerobic, enzymes and curing, and you think about botulism, like I start to worry about that stuff. I see 0 point in a 200-day age unless you're in a survival situation and you're trying to pack a year and a half ahead or something like that, and you can do it.
Right.
I don't think flavor or texture it's a very cool experiment. I don't see it as a guy who's run several dry age and wet age Asian steakhouses in Naples, Florida. I would never take anything that long. And don't forget the stuff that you and I are getting probably already have 3 weeks age on them. So we're tacking on top of that.
Right. But
so
I want one of those steak rockers. Do what?
I've taken it to 100 days and had a good result. Now it tore my stomach up. I'll be honest with you, and I don't say this a ton, but I'm more of a pescatarian. As much beef and pork, and I love the process, and I go out on the farms, and I help with the whole thing. I'm mainly a seafood vegetable guy, to be honest with you, at home. So when I eat a lot of beef like that, it tears me up. And what I did was I took that 100-day dried steak and went to the guys at Lane's Barbecue. I went to their place in Georgia and cubed it up, trimmed it off, cubed it up, and then put all the cubes on a pitchfork and then shoved it down in the coals and burn it all up on the outside on the pitchfork, and then sliced it for 200-300 people, and it was fantastic. But what I had did tear my system up. I'm not used to beef like that, and it does take a little getting used to.
Right. Speaking of dry aging stuff that's not beef, have you talked to Rule lately?
I talk to him about twice a week.
Well, he put a video out today on his personal channel, not the Pitmaster X channel, and I left him a comment on it. But he's got a couple of big dry aging lockers now, and he had a couple of ducks hanging in there, and it didn't work out for him. And
I told him he was an idiot. I said, "What are you doing, bro?"
Well, I told him not to give up on it.
This is how they do Peking duck. I'm like, yeah, but it ain't the same, man. You're not.
I told him not to give up on it yet. He said those ducks were smelling bad, and I don't know how long he had
smelling bad. You don't dry age poultry.
Well, I think the process is going to work. He just doesn't have the time frame on it yet. I think he went too long, because those Peking ducks are only air dried for 24 hours normally.
That's it. Yeah. And then you stick the air gun under the skin, in between the skin and the flesh, and puff it up. Yeah.
I don't know how long he had them in that locker, but he was complaining about spending €100 on those 4 ducks. So he's
got the money. Don't let him fool you.
I know that.
Poor Pitmaster X.
What I don't understand is why he bought 4 of them instead of just trying it with 1. When I want to try something new, I do it with 1 duck. I would do 1 duck and not buy 4 of them. I don't know what his plan is.
He's all over the top. I'm going to send the link. I'm going to send the link and a timestamp so he can see this. I have traveled the freaking globe with this guy, and he is all show. Pitmaster X. You know what I mean?
I told him. He responded to my comment on his video, and I'm going to see if I can find a way to get him on here. And if I can get him on here, maybe I can get you and Rule on at the same time, if I can get him to stay up late one Friday night.
Yeah, he's got the family there, and he runs a tight ship as far as timing goes, and getting a cinematographer out there. I mean, he's got a tight ship, so I don't know if we'll be able to get him up too late, but perhaps we could do a recorded and then put it out there.
Yeah, we might do that, because he's
very gracious with his time.
It's 7:30 here. It's either 12:30 or I think it's 12:30. I think they're 5 hours off of us in the Netherlands. So I'm not real sure, but I would like to get him on here at some point. Maybe we could do a recorded one and do that. That might be fun, because we can do the recording at any time. It doesn't matter, what time we do it, and send it back out. But I'd like to bring him on, because I remember Rule when he first got started in social media and first started making some videos. His content was awesome, but he wouldn't speak. He wouldn't say anything. It was all background music. And I just asked him one day, I said, "Why don't you come on here and talk to us?" And he was afraid of his accent. He was afraid people would not like that. And I said, "Dude, the American audience is going to eat that up. That's why you need to do it." And
he catches a lot of guff from the people in the Netherlands, saying that his English isn't good enough and stop embarrassing himself. All this stuff.
His English is great. His English is better than half the people I know that live here.
Yeah, just straight up.
It's funny. I mean, he does great, and he there was some word today he was stumbling on in the video. I don't remember what it was, but it was an English word he was trying to describe something with. But his buddy Morrison, his camera guy, knew the word, and it was really funny. But I've really been enjoying his new personal channel because it's one
Yeah.
of those channels where you get to know Rule, you get to know more about the man than what he's doing. But yeah, maybe we can get him on here.
So
I've been
he'd
enjoying the
come into the heartbeat.
content you've been putting out on Kamado Joe lately. Also, you've done a lot of really
Thanks,
cool
John.
videos.
Yeah, it's been really a freaking roller coaster for me to learn how to do content. I've been watching your content for such a long time, and it's fantastic. You remember the first time we got together, it was like a freaking 5-person set and stuff. Now, now I work with a buddy of mine, Nathan. He's
Yeah.
down in Florida, and he's got it. All he has is one camera in his hand. He doesn't have a tripod or anything like that. And he's just running around. And I love it when he interacts and asks questions and keeps that in the video.
That's great. Yeah, that's one of the comments I wanted to make. See, that Rule does the same thing with his camera guy. He brings him into the fray, and it's awesome. It really works well. I don't have that luxury because I'm a one-man show, but that day you and I got together down there and we're shooting those videos, I enjoyed that day. I enjoyed spending that day cooking with you, but that was tiring.
That was a lot of work. A lot of like, okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. I thought after that day, I was like, I'm never making another video ever again. We did 5 videos in one day.
You can't do. You don't want to do take after take after take after take to get some. I don't know what the B-roll stuff they had to have been 20 times what actually got published.
Oh, 400 times.
Man.
And they weren't food people. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, Anthony is a professional. He's a cinematographer. He's a movie guy. That's what he knows.
The results were great, but that's not. That's hard to do.
I'd never do it again. I'd never do it again.
Food on the grill, you got to keep it going. You got to keep things going. And I've done this. I've been doing this for so long now that I've kind of got a process down. I always know in my mind what's going to be happening and when, and I plan everything around where I'm going to have the camera. My camera's on a tripod. I start the camera, I start talking, I have the camera pointed at whatever I need to point it at. I'm thinking about, I'm working on some ideas to shorten my videos up. That's one problem I have. I do need to condense my times. I would like to have every video I do at 5 minutes or less, and
I don't know, John. I don't know, man. Like the viewing habits of people since COVID have changed so much. And
not according to my analytics.
I was going to ask you about that. I don't know, man. I look at the analytics a lot on the KJ YouTube channel too, and I don't know. It's weird. People are steering away from television. They're going to YouTube for entertainment.
A majority of my videos, like if I publish a 10-minute video, the average viewing time on that video is like 1.5 minutes. It's really weird how that works. Now, it's kind of hard to explain because some of those videos on Facebook get thousands of hours of viewing time and thousands of views. So it's really hard to kind of sort out. But I did some experiments a couple of years ago that I'd like to get back to, and the only reason I haven't gotten back to it's because it's much more time consuming for me to make that video a 5-minute video rather than a 10-minute video. But a couple of years back, I did some experiments where I I made myself a little outline of what I was going to cook and the points I needed to talk about. And I did this experiment where I would sit at my computer and I would record myself at the computer and I would narrate the video from start to finish. I would speak my way through the video, and then I would go shoot all the video and then piece the video into my narration. That makes things go quicker. It makes me not spend too much time on video, and it allows me to keep things rolling and keep the attention. Those videos that I did actually had a better retention rate on the viewer. I got higher average view times on that. But being a one-man show, once again, it's different. You have to make sure that everything you want to say is said, because if you're going to do it by that technique, there's no way to go back and add the narration in later without making an ugly blip in the video.
Yeah. And I do some of that too. When I can't get together with Nathan, I'll put the tripod up and I'll shoot with either just my phone or just my my camera. I got a little Lumix GH4 that Rule suggested, and those things are great. And I find not talking through them is the easiest way to shoot that. And then I send it to Nathan in like 15 clips, and he edits it, and then I will go into my freaking closet, which has great acoustics, and I'll just say what's going on at the time. Right. But 90% of the time when I'm doing a recipe, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got ingredients prepped out, but I change my mind so much. We're cooking over live fire, and I think that Francis Mallman approach, living on the edge of uncertainty and just like, it's live fire. It's so hard to write a recipe and stick to it for me. I'm so freaking like chasing that rabbit all over the place, and I'm like, oh, let's bank these coals over here, and then I'm not too happy with that. Let's go ahead and lower the grill grade. It's such a process, and that's what I love about cooking over live fire. So it's difficult for me, but I've matured a lot in the last 6 months of making videos, of being more aware of that, of people being able to replicate what it is I'm doing. And that's why you're seeing a lot more of those 101 approaches. When I first started out,
those videos were the most popular ones.
That's 25 different ingredients. I was doing salmon shanks and stuff like this, and a big Brazilian white bean shushu salad with chayote and citrus. Right. Like, who needs to go shopping for all that? It's the best thing ever to order on a menu. And that's where I had to transition from a restaurant chef to a guy making videos that's not flexing a culinary muscle, but rather empowering people to make great food at home and to just have fun in the backyard. And that transition has helped my life, especially during this COVID situation when we're at home, because now I'm cooking with the kids and everything's approachable. You know what I mean?
Well, I've noticed that lately in a lot of the newer videos that have come out on Kamado Joe, you're focusing more on one item. And that's something I've tried to do from the beginning. I get asked a lot, John, why don't you show me how to prepare a whole meal on the Kamado? And I can do that. But being a one-man production company, that video is going to be 30 or 40 minutes long, and it's hard to do when I'm having to plan things and move cameras around. What I've tried to do instead of teaching you how to prepare a whole meal on the Kamado is I've got a lot of videos on proteins, obviously, and then I've got another collection of videos of sides. And
your sides are fantastic. Your sides are fantastic.
Other things. Well, I'm trying to expand my side repertoire. I have finally conquered Brussels sprouts, buddy. I will eat Brussels sprouts now. I have figured out how to cook Brussels sprouts in a way that I like them, and I made a little video on that. And the next thing I've been challenged to do, and I think Jarrell Sterling. I saw Jarrell make a comment. You've met Jarrell.
I've met Jarrell several times. In fact, the last time I saw Jarrell, I didn't even recognize Jarrell. I was in Texas, and I was like,
"Yeah, he moved out of Georgia. He went to Texas."
Jarrell, is that you?
Yeah. Jarrell is teaching Texas how to make barbecue now.
Oh, he's a sensational chef.
But I think I've been challenged by Jarrell and a couple other people to learn to like sweet potatoes. So I'm going to work on that. I'm not a sweet potato fan, and kind of the interesting thing is Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes kind of go together. There's a I remember at one point with Kamado Joe when Bobby had hired this new marketing company, and he had this marketing people trying to tell me what they'd like to see me do. And they wanted a video on Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes. And I said, no. And they said, why not? And I said, I don't like Brussels sprouts or sweet potatoes, so I'm not going to cook them. Well, Bobby, then Bobby calls me and he says, John, he says, come on, man, you can do some Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes, right? I said, well, I could. I said, but you're not going to get a taste test at the end of the video. He says, why not? I
That's
said, because I hate these things. So he says, well, can you fake it? So I faked it. I did a taste test at the end. I said, I did my little, and then I spit them out, man, because I did not like them. But I cooked them a way that lots of people liked them. You know, I did a pan thing. I tossed it with some, I did the balsamic vinegar bacon thing, you know, that everybody seems to love. And, but sweet potatoes, I'm going to work on finding a way. First thing I need to do, and this is good information for anybody. If there's a food you don't like and you want to figure out a way to like it, you got to start back from the beginning, because the reason I kept on with Brussels sprouts is the guy that teaches the classes I'm taking online says if you don't like Brussels sprouts, you probably just haven't had them cooked properly or cooked to your liking. And I found that to be true. So what I want to do with the sweet potatoes, I need to back up. I'm going to go buy a sweet potato. Next time I think about it when I'm at the grocery store, I'm going to cut a dice out of that sweet potato and I'm going to eat that thing raw. And I'm going to try to understand the flavor of the raw sweet potato.
It's much more starchy than you think. You know?
Well, I want to see what it tastes like in its uncooked raw form, and then I need to figure out what kind of flavors I want to add to that, what I want to do with it, and I want to figure out a way that I can cook sweet potatoes that I can like them. And one of the things I'm thinking, you know, I might try turning a sweet potato either into a hash or or maybe even something like a.
If you do a hash,
go ahead.
If you do a hash, you have to 50-50 it with russet potatoes. You can't just do a straight sweet potato hash. It's going to be gumpy. It's not going to turn out right. I've done sweet potato au gratins for years in restaurants by the freaking ton. You do a 50-50 mix of sweet potatoes and Idaho chef potato or russet potato. Thin slice. And think about what we've been forced to eat in the South time and time again is sweet potato freaking casserole with so much maple syrup, brown sugar, candy pecans, and marshmallows. It's enough to give you a freaking toothache thinking about the damn thing.
See, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when sweet potatoes come up is the sweet potato casserole. It was a holiday meal, and I just never liked it to begin with. It's too sweet.
Pass.
When I think of what potatoes for me are savory, and you know, a sweet potato is kind of the anti-potato in that aspect. So I want to figure something out, but I'm gonna figure something out. I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Try the 50-50 au gratin.
Okay, so I can take my mandolin, slice those up, make an au gratin.
And all you're doing, heavy cream, Parmesan dust, garlic, and then 50-50, a little salt, a little pepper. That's it. Super simple, and you'll freaking love it.
I'll put that in a dish, throw it in my wood-fired oven, nice and hot. I'll put foil over the top during the first part of the cook and let it cook the potatoes, then rip the foil off and let it brown up on top, and I'm going to have something good.
325, 350, not too hot, because your cream will over-reduce. It'll burn. I also like if you want to do it a little bit different and tap into that French culinary side, you can make it Pommes Boulanger, and you can cook it instead of using the cream, use chicken stock. And
I would go for that.
This is a 2-day process. 2-day process. So you're cooking the same exact 50-50 sweet potatoes and russet potatoes and salt. And that's it. And then you cook it. And then when it's done, when you can stick a skewer and it goes through all of them very gently. So you have a pan that's halfway full of 3/4 of the way full of that mixture and just slightly covered with chicken stock. Bake that with parchment paper and aluminum foil. Bake it in your wood fire oven. Take the top off if you want to, but know that you're going to flip it, and that whatever the top is going to end up being the bottom. But after it's done, You put another pan that fits the same exact shaped pan, fits right atop of it, put some heavy cans in it, and refrigerate it overnight. Next day, you flip it over, cut off the edges and cut squares out of it, and you have Palms Boulangerie. You heat those up slowly, and it's just this beautiful, layered, delicate cut with a fork bite with chicken stock, sweet potatoes,
That
magic,
sounds
brother.
good.
Oh,
Chicken
check it out.
stock.
Palms
Chicken stock works
Boulangerie.
for me. I cook my grits in chicken stock and heavy cream.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and I've gotten good at cooking stone ground grits, and that's one of the reasons the whole flavorful liquids mantra that I've been learning in my online classes and whatnot. I don't cook anything in water anymore. It's all a stock or something else. It's grits and water doesn't happen here anymore when I'm doing it. Milk at a minimum, but that a half and half chicken stock and heavy cream, or a half and half chicken stock and half even. If
Don't
you don't want to do the heavy cream route.
don't forget those vegetable scraps and a 35-minute vegetable stock. I mean,
Well,
anytime
I've got a
anything
freezer
calls for
full of
water,
that.
a
Yeah,
pepper
I've
spray.
got onion
Woo!
pieces in there, celery pieces, a bunch of stuff in the onion in Ziploc, or actually they're in vacuum seal bags. I actually need to make some vegetable stock because I need to clean out some freezer space because I've got that stuff in there, and I'm thinking about actually doing a video maybe on how to do that, how to save all that stuff, and do the same thing with chicken stock because I like to make the chicken stock if I want to roast a whole chicken, or the best time to make chicken stock is if I decide I want to make chicken soup because I'll take that whole chicken, uh, I will roast the chicken on the grill, but I will save the back,
Oh,
I'll
it's
save the
beautiful.
I'll save the spine, uh, and I'll save the wing tips and whatnot. And then I'll roast that chicken. I'll cut all the meat off of it, and then I've got this carcass. And then I'll take that carcass and throw it in a 500-degree oven to brown everything up that's left behind. And then that carcass will go in the stock with the wingtips and I'll also roast the wingtips and the back, the spine at the same time, and then throw a little bit. Always, that mirepoix, the carrots, onions, and celery. A little
Yeah.
bit of that can go in there too, and make a really wonderful chicken stock. And then I've got the chicken that I roasted at the same time. I can take that chicken, chop it up, or shred it, or do whatever I want to do and make the chicken soup with it. But that'd be some fun videos to make, even though it's not on the grill. That's one of the things I try to work in periodically. Something that's not necessarily done on the grill, but it's a what do you call it? A required accessory item. Having your stocks. I
It's
like to keep. I put stocks in Ziploc bags or vacuum seal bags in the freezer and lay them flat where they freeze nice and flat. And I do it in two cup servings where I've got just the right amount to
John,
pull out.
do us all a favor and wait until Thanksgiving and do it with your freaking turkey carcass, and then
Yeah,
use the leftover white meat and stuff like that to make your grilled freaking turkey stock or your turkey
right.
cream of turkey soup. I mean, that's meant. And I think back to what you were talking about with like Brussels sprouts and doing things on the grill or not on the grill. I think something that people don't take into consideration when you're making a soup or something like that, every single ingredient doesn't need to touch the grill. But if 10% of the ingredients or one main ingredient is roasted on the grill, you're going to get that natural lump charcoal or that natural wood flavor that we
Right.
love so much from the grill. So when you're doing a Brussels sprout salad, to be able to keep 80% of the Brussels sprouts completely raw and slice them super thin in a food processor, and then
Right.
smoke another, whatever it was, 10% or 20% that's left over, but still keep them firm and then slice those in. That's going to give a wonderful flavor profile. Whereas if you'd grilled all of them, you'd have mush on your hands, or it would be too smoky or too grilled. So I think the power of the grill can sometimes be used or accentuated by using it in subtle ways.
Right. Okay. Talking about that, yesterday I ran into a little problem here at the house. I had several pounds of fresh green beans out of my father-in-law's garden that had to be dealt with. I I stringed these beans, cut the ends off, I blanched them, chilled them, and put them in vacuum seal bags. Tossed them in the freezer. I've got like 12 or 14 two-person servings of green beans ready to go. What's your favorite way to prep to make a green bean side, something that's quick and easy?
So for my last restaurant, something that went to every single table, it became my very famous and infamous Grickles. And I would quick grill, like very hot, 600-degree blister sear okra, green beans, red onions, and then I would throw them in mason jars and I would pour my pickling liquid in there. So it was grilled, pickled vegetables, and it was out of this world good. I'd use a white balsamic. It was fantastic.
A white
So,
balsamic, something I've never done
oh,
anything with. I'm gonna have
magic.
to look at that.
Yeah,
So
yes. And it was instant.
you make a pickling brine with a white balsamic vinegar
It's
instead of a distilled vinegar.
I use 50, not even 50/50. I'll send you the recipe and you feel free to post it. My Grickles are insane. I put dill in there and garlic in there and all that, but it was I think it was an apple cider vinegar and the white balsamic, but it just sweetens it and tarts it in a way that was very unique, and it paired well with the grilled side of the Grickles.
Well,
So
that's something else. That's something I might be interested in because okra is something I love. My wife loves it as well. And do you throw just the whole okra, or do you slice it lengthwise, or what do you do before you put that sear and char on that okra?
So this is another one for all you Bloody Mary lovers out there. We make smokera. You just put a little smoke on there and throw in your Bloody Mary. But no, keeping it whole really helps out. And I just saw a comment there about slime. The
Right.
acid really counteracts that. So uh, when you
Well,
when you
the heat does too, in the
when
cooking
you put
method.
that heat on there and
Yeah.
you're still cooking it al dente. It is
Right.
still to the tooth. It is not soft by any means, but then when it's in that acid, it's already been charred on the outside, not too much char. There's next to no slime to it. And growing
Well,
up, I was a no okra guy because of the
yeah.
slime.
Slimy
Uh,
okra, slimy okra has either been boiled or not been cooked hot enough.
or flash frozen from the field. And I used to have to
Right.
clear okra fields as a kid with a
Man,
sigh. And I
my
got I
wife
got
and I,
hit one
my
time.
wife and I love okra, and
Mm.
we had some okra at. We bought an okra side at Vivian Howard's place down near you, the
Yeah.
boiler room.
Oh,
I
cool.
think the boiler room's closed up now, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately.
We had some okra there one time. I think that was like tempura fried or something. Maybe that was really good. If I
Oh,
remember, or
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
might be mistaken. I might be mistaken where we got that. That might have been somewhere else. But we had okra. We had okra at Paula Dean's restaurant in Savannah. With she called it a remoulade, but it was more like a pimento cheese. That was
Huh.
really good. So,
Look at
oh
that.
boy, yeah.
Oh,
Is this the manual? Is
it's
this
one of
all
them.
your is this all your handwritten recipes?
John, let me show you how many handwritten recipes I got. I don't know how to. These are all, that's 30 plus years of just albums from different restaurants that I've
Yep.
created for
Guys,
school.
whenever you ask Chef Eric for a recipe, if he gives it to you, what you get is a phone photo of a
Pictures.
handwritten recipe. And what's even worse is it's enough to feed an army. It's a restaurant quantity.
It's a restaurant quality, and that's really part of what I struggle with these. Oh, my
Yeah,
Grickles.
see, Eric's used to cooking for a lot more people than you and I are used to cooking for. we're used to cooking for our family, and a big event for us is 15 or 20 people. Well, a big event for Eric is a 500 people. See, okay, this stuff's typed up. Okay, there's the Grickles recipe.
But it's not saved, so it's just typed and printed at once. But check it out.
9 tablespoons of sugar, 8 tablespoons of salt. Yeah, you're gonna have to make your phone photo and send me that because I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna try it because I think my wife's gonna love it. I
did it with a grilled olive tapenade.
Man, my father-in-law's garden's probably got a bunch of okra in it. It's not ready yet, so
it should be good.
I know he grows it, so.
Cherry tomatoes should be blowing up here shortly. Blackberries are blowing up in our yard. Our bees are all over the darn place.
Heck yeah, blackberries come in over the 4th of July. That's when they're good.
Yeah.
My blueberries usually come in over the 4th also, but my blueberries started coming in about 2 weeks early this year.
Really? Huh.
I've already made a batch of blueberry muffins with fresh blueberries.
Man, yeah, I'm a sucker for a blueberry muffin, and it's just really a modified cornbread recipe that I use.
It is a sweet, yeah, it's sweet, and I throw a little lemon juice and a little lemon zest in my blueberry muffins, and I also put a pinch of cinnamon in there. It's one of those you can't tell that it's cinnamon in there. But it's like a wake-up spice in a blueberry muffin. It's really good. Let's see, Stephen Hickey's with us tonight. He says he's experienced that firsthand. He's had to divide several of Chef Eric's recipes to make a quantity that's servable.
I think what Stephen's talking about is my bourbon dream sauce for the pork bombs.
The bourbon dream sauce. That was one of the first things of yours that I got to taste firsthand. The day I met you face to face was in Atlanta at that trade show, and you were making pork bombs and the bourbon dream sauce. Yes, man, I could drink that bourbon dream sauce right out of the bottle.
I only make it by the freaking 40-gallon though. You know what I mean? It's like it's ridiculous. Stuff. I'm still fighting that good fight about cellophane on the grill. People hate to hear it. I mean, it's a great method. I don't care who you are. Yeah. It's awesome.
You're going to get cancer from that, Chef. You're going to die from. Yeah. You're going to die from your cooking methods, unfortunately. So it's the
BPA free, man.
BPA free. Okay. Not only that, aluminum foil is going to kill you just as quickly as the plastic wrap is. And what else is going to kill me? Somebody said something to me this week about something I did, and I'm trying to remember what it is. I reposted a video that I made a while back this week on my Chicago style pizza. And so I spread sausage in the bottom part of that pizza, but I don't pre-cook that sausage, and everybody's afraid that sausage is not going to get to temperature in a pizza that I'm cooking at 450 degrees for 45 minutes, where everything inside that pizza is getting well above 200 degrees during that cook. People's worried I'm going to get botulism from.
John, they love you. They're just looking out for you, man.
I hear you. They're not looking out for me. They're trying to one up me every time I post something.
No. When they're hating on us, they're just worried about, especially the cross contamination.
Are you sure? They're worried.
They love us.
They're worried about that. Yeah. Jason Jackson's with us. Jason's down in Melbourne.
Melbourne where?
Melbourne, Australia. He says life is going to kill us. We might as well live on the edge. I got to meet Jason. Jason came up. You probably got to meet Jason. He showed up at I think it was probably the last event we did at Atlanta Grill Company. Jason was there, and we went out for some. We went out for some beers afterward, and
let me know next time you're heading up there.
Where, to Atlanta Grill Company?
Yeah, I'd like to go see.
I was just there this week. What do you need?
Thanks a lot. Thanks. I don't need anything. I just want to go throw some high fives and roll some grills out there and cook some lunch for people. I don't know.
Well, see, I want to do that. We were talking about doing that. What I want to do is we were going to actually do that this coming weekend. We were going to get a group of people together, go down there and cook. When what our objective was to cook a meal for the people that run the show at Atlanta Grill Company. But this coming weekend wasn't convenient.
Yeah.
Not this coming weekend, next weekend, the 10th or whatever. The Atlanta Grill Company has acquired some new warehouse space, and they're pretty busy right now with the process of bringing that up to speed. These guys are their mail order business, down there is busting at the seams, and they're needing to be able to warehouse more materials. But at some point between now and the end of the year,
Yeah.
we're gonna go down there. I'm gonna go. We're gonna have Jeff Ledbetter. We're gonna have Luca Verini. We're gonna get Stephen Hickey down there with us. Uh, Mark Ashby. You know the crew. You know the Atlanta crew. You know
You
who
can't
they are.
forget Garvin. Can't forget Garvin there.
Yeah, Irvin will be there, and we're gonna throw a meal down for the Atlanta Grill Company people. We're gonna go cook them a meal, and I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but when the time comes, it's gonna be something. I'll let you know when we're gonna go, and if you can join us, that'd be awesome.
Oh, you let
We're
me
gonna
know. I'll wash a mean dish. I'll help. I'll be
we'll fire up the grills in their outdoor kitchen there, and we'll put a meal together for the Atlanta Grill Company staff. I wanted to do that. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and Jeff Ledbetter and I've been talking about that for some time now, looking for the right time to do it. But COVID has upset everything, and this is one of the things that COVID's upset. Jeff and I have been talking about this for nearly a year now, wanting to get down there and do this when the time is right. And I want to make sure that it can be the right time because I want to make it, something that we'll enjoy and something that the Atlanta Grill, not just Gary and Jason and Marcus, not just those guys, but everybody. The people that work in the warehouse and everything else. We want to feed them and put them together because those guys, I love them, man. They take care of me. They This Atlanta Grill Company's that's my new Amazon, man. I spend as much money with these guys as I do at Amazon, and it's I want to give back to them, to show my appreciation for everything they've done for me, and that's going to be one of the ways we can do that. And speaking of Atlanta Grill Company, and I talked to you a while back. What was it you made? You made a honey mustard that I wrote down the recipe for, and I sent you that link to that red clay hot honey. This
Oh yeah.
this stuff. Did you try any of this?
No, I did not.
Dude, you've got to get your hands on this hot honey. This is made in Georgia, I believe. No, it's got a Charleston, South Carolina on it. But man, this stuff you made a honey mustard, and I sent you a message. I said I made your honey mustard, but instead of the regular honey, I put this in it, and it's a new ball game with a hot honey. So
I'll check that out.
Yes, do, because it's well worth it. It's different, so give it a shot because it brings honey mustard to a different level using a spicy honey in it, and that particular hot honey has become my favorite. I didn't know I liked hot honey until my coworker shows up at work one night with a bunch of chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. Okay, now follow me here. He opens up this chicken McNuggets. He's got the 20 pack or something. It's the big one, and he's got that Mike's hot honey, that you can buy at Walmart. He's drizzling Mike's hot honey all over these chicken McNuggets. He closes the box up, starts shaking it up. I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And this is like at 2 o'clock in the morning, man, because I work overnight.
Yeah, yeah.
And he says, "I'm putting some of this hot honey on my chicken nuggets." I said, "Let me try one of those." And man, it was off the hook. It was really good. So I said, "I'm going to have to look." I said, "I wonder if Atlanta Grill Company's got any hot honey." So I got on, and of course they do. And Atlanta Grill Company's got that $80 limit. If you got to spend $80 or more to get free shipping, so I bought $80 worth of honey, and so I've got this red clay hot honey. I've got this red clay barrel aged Southern honey, and I bought several other honeys that they have. Hickory smoked honey. Okay, so yeah, but try your honey mustard at some point with one of these hot honeys, and I think you'll it makes a difference. I
Hey,
think
give it
you'll
a go.
like
I'll
it.
give it a go. I'll give it a go. Have you heard of the Mad Honey?
Heard what?
Mad Honey.
Mad honey. I'm not familiar with that one.
Check it out when you get a chance. It's this crazy honey that grows cliffside in Nepal. And like, I don't know, 6 or 7 people die per year trying to harvest this stuff. But the bees are tapping into a pollen source. And when it turns into honey, it's got hallucinogenic properties.
Okay, I'm game. You had me at hallucinogenic.
Yeah.
So
Check out
let's
Mad Honey. You can
mad
actually
mad honey from
yeah.
Tibetan monks that die trying to climb up there to harvest the honey from these
I think it's the knuckleheads trying to make a buck getting out there. But check it out. It's an interesting story. I talked to somebody from out that way, and they were like, "Yeah, it's a real thing. Give yourself a real spiritual journey, if you will."
Okay, yeah, that's something I'll definitely have to check that out.
Atlanta Grill Company coming to you soon.
Well, Atlanta Grill Company, those guys down there, I don't know how they'd be about honey from Nepal. These guys are really good about supporting Georgia based honey. And in fact, one of these honeys I have here, Classic City Bee. This is gallberry honey. Have you ever heard of gallberry? Okay.
Yep.
These guys are in Athens, Georgia, and Atlanta Grill Companies. They're real good about working with people that are in Georgia and people that are local. But I don't know. They managed to produce some this North Carolina boys rub recipes. So,
yeah, how about that?
Yeah, those are good, man. I'm still a big fan of the Man Cave Mojo stuff. Those are my pride and joy rub recipes right there. I use them all the time. But what else do I need to drill you on, Eric? While I've got you, we got a few minutes left here. We haven't hit the hour mark yet.
I got somebody somebody surprise made me a grill fork.
Oh boy, look at that!
Pretty sweet, bro. He's the same guy that made a couple knives for me. I don't think I have them on my back wall right now. I've probably been using them, but
whatever happened to that knife that you took on the European road trip?
That was a nightmare, bro. It got lost in transit. Yeah, so I had to. It held the whole entire European road trip up because there was a story behind having this knife and going to 7 countries in 10 days. So I had to drive back. A guy named Charles, who you might know, drove me back from. We were cooking underneath a 200-year-old windmill that Picasso used to do art on the walls in, and I had to leave early and leave the dinner table from the family that was hosting us under this windmill because they had finally found my bag in Germany, and so we went like 180 miles per hour all the way there, scary as hell, all the way back, and it made it in time to run to I think Slovenia or Italy next. But I still have it. And I just got a new edge put on it the other day. It's made out of 52-100, so it's the same steel that's made out of ball bearings and NASCAR axles, and it's very difficult. You can't put that baby on a stone; it'll eat a stone up. You have to have a grinder to put an edge on it. So,
well, I like sharpening knives. I've got several knife sharpeners I've been playing around with, and one of the things I've never learned to do is hand sharpen a knife on a whetstone, and I'm going to do that.
Let's do that together next time we go to Atlanta Grill Company. We'll sit there Oh boy. I got some. Say hello.
Looky there. Yeah.
And there's Highland. Say hey, Highland.
Man, they're growing up too quickly. I think the last pictures I saw of them, they weren't that big.
No, they're sprouting up, that's for sure. And they're becoming my
Looky.
sous chefs, bro. I'll tell you, I put them to work.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt for a moment that they're great cooks.
Yeah, they do a good job. They handle the knife pretty well too. You know,
How well do they handle? How well do they handle those surfboards behind you?
Highland, the 9-year-old, really well. I mean, there's a little big for her, but we got a couple down at Wrightsville Beach. They rip. This one rips. Yeah, it's just pretty fun.
Do they do the boogie board thing? Oh.
Every now and again, it's more about getting on that long board and having some fun. But we also shoot bow and arrow all the time, throw axes, throwing knives, and even the 6-year-old does really well with that stuff. So
Tanya and I were talking about throwing axes today. There's a new place that's opened up not far from us that's axe throwing, and I had just actually been looking the other day about learning how to throw a knife, and I looked at some YouTube videos, and I decided quickly that's another thing I don't need to spend any money on.
Oh, you get $30 and you're in the game, bro. $30.
Well, I know. I was just telling Tanya. I said I think Academy Sports has got this Smith and Wesson throwing knife set where there's 3 of them that are like $30 or something, and they're cheap.
Don't buy throwing knives. Don't buy any throwing knives, John. I got you. I'm gonna give you a set. I've got. Let me see what we got here. Oh yeah. So I got you covered. Let's see.
You're gonna get me hurt. You're gonna make me hurt myself, aren't you?
No. This is gonna listen. I'm still putting in my outdoor kitchen. I'm actually putting in a throwing axe and throwing knife lane in the outdoor
kitchen. Oh man.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fun stuff here. So let me show you. This is my gift to you, and so it comes in this little pouch. And you can do like a tic-tac-toe board.
Yeah.
And then somebody gets
black,
and then somebody gets silver. Mm-hmm. And they're just perfectly balanced little throwing knives.
I got to learn to do that. I'm going to have to learn to do it. There's a trick to it.
Do it together. Next time we go to Atlanta Grill Company, we'll do throwing knives and get out of here. Get out of here. And then these guys do a really good job. Atlanta Grill Company should carry these. I mean, 1,000%. These things are so fun. They've got a little paracord on the handle.
Right.
And then they're relatively light, but they throw just beautiful.
Well, I'm familiar with the SOG brand, and I know that stuff's not inexpensive.
I got the knives coming at you, so you can afford to get the axes. It's like half off if you think about it, and you'll have both.
Can I cut a steak with it?
You could.
I could cut the wing tips off of I could separate my wings with one of those.
If you got that good, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
I could get the wing tips off and get my flats and drumettes separated with it.
Yeah. But, I think that's part of grilling too, is the toys. You know what I mean? We've figured out what it is we're interested in, what our life's passion's gone to. And I continue to tell people lighting the fire is just as much, if not more fun for me than the actual cooking process, seeing the flame, being a part of it. And I don't know, man, I get real romantic and geeky about it.
Tanya would tell you some stories when I'm bored. Even if I'm not cooking, I'll admit this sparingly here, not to let people make fun of me, but I've actually gone outside and lit a grill just to have the grill burning where I could smell it burning, and I wasn't going to throw any food on it. I didn't even cook. I had the grill burning, and I would throw a chunk of hickory on there and let the neighborhood think I'm cooking,
Everybody knows what you're up to. Do you find yourself taking food to neighbors and such when you're doing videos?
Not so much neighbors, but family.
Well,
I gave Tanya's parents. I did a video last week, and don't hate me for this. I smoked a 13
Cheetos,
and a half
hot
pound
Cheetos.
butt on the gas grill.
I saw it.
So
I saw it.
yeah, I cooked
Yeah.
that on the gas grill, and I gave
The Napoleon, right?
yeah, and I
Yeah.
gave Tanya's parents every bit of that meat. I packaged that meat up into what I considered 2 serving bags, but for her parents, it'll probably be 4 serving bags.
Sure. Yeah.
The I think there were 12 or 13. 10, there was a lot. I don't remember how many bags I gave them, but I vacuum sealed that. The gas grill experiment was worthwhile because I've got I've got a small audience that is cooking on gas grills, and that Napoleon, first of all, is a super high end gas grill. But I think one of the things I'm hoping to do this summer is I'm going to be doing more stuff on the Napoleon than I normally would. I want to bring some of these gas grill owners out of their shells and get them to try some things on their gas grill that they wouldn't normally do. When I was cooking on gas grills before I ever got into this smoking and grilling business, it was hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, and chicken breast. That was all I ever cooked. And I think a majority of gas grill owners don't go a whole lot beyond that. There may be some that they'll throw a kebab on there occasionally.
Maybe
But
some asparagus. Yeah.
yeah, but I want to see some people, get outside their comfort zone on that gas grill and, cook a bun on it. Uh, the first butt I ever cooked was not cooked on a grill. It was cooked in an indoor oven, and I didn't know how good it could be smoked at that time. And a friend of mine said, come up meet with us, and we're going to have some pork butt. And I said, what's a pork butt? This was 30 years ago, and
Yeah.
I said, he explained it to me. He says, well, we got this thing on sale for 59 cents a pound at the grocery store. Like I said, this was 30 years ago.
Oh, magic. Magic.
And,
Before
and
freaking Food Network came
yeah,
along and ruined everything.
I went up there and ate with them, and I said, what the hell is this? I said, this is delicious. I said, you paid
Divine.
59 cents a pound for this? And all they had done was put salt and pepper on it. They wrapped it in foil, put it on a roasting rack in a pan in their oven, and they cooked it until the meat thermometer read they had about 180 degrees. They weren't making pulled pork. We were slicing it.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And
Yeah.
I'd like to see if I can build more people into my audience that are cooking on gas grills by and at least inviting them to try.
That's a great point. That's a great point. When you look at the Australian barbecue folks from the ABA and all these folks, they're almost it's almost aggressively looked down upon to cook on a gasser. You're called a gasser, right?
Yeah.
What's the first gas grill you had? Do you remember what kind of grill it was?
Say what now?
What was the first when you were growing up? What kind of gas grill did you guys have?
The gas grill that I grew up with was
Yeah.
I don't remember the brand name of it, but it was one of the ones that my dad bought from the natural gas company because we had natural gas at the house. And I didn't have to have a propane tank. It was lined into the house, and I don't remember the brand name of it, but it had these ceramic briquettes in the bottom of it that we had to flip over periodically, and it was great, man. You never had to do anything, but that's all we had. We never cooked on truck.
I grew up with a gas grill, but it was the complete opposite. My parents fell in love with a gas grill at the North Carolina State Fair, and it was a Holland grill.
Now, Holland's been around for many years.
And they've changed now. Now they're Wilmington grill, but it was a high-end grill, but you couldn't sear a damn steak. It was like a freaking Traeger. You couldn't get over 450 degrees. You know what I mean? Right. So it was all pork. Oh, it was all pork butts. Hey, Jenny. Come say hey to John real quick.
Eric's wife's home.
Come here. Come say hey. No, Oh, come on. She worried her hair into it. It's good. We're an hour into this. So
Hey there.
John.
Hi, John. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. You should get on. You should get on camera more with Eric. You make him look good.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
this guy. You know. What are your plans for the 4th?
I don't know. I got to work. I work a weekend job, but let me tell you guys something. The greatest post I've seen on Facebook in my entire life came from Eric's wife. She
No.
posted a picture of Eric outside raking leaves. He's raking leaves, and he's got this huge pile of leaves. His girls are playing in this pile of leaves, and her tagline on this post it says life for Eric is not all about tomahawks and something
Lobster
else.
tails. Yeah.
Tomahawks and lobster tails. That was the greatest thing ever.
I don't remember that. I do remember the raking the leaves, but yeah, I would like him to stop holding up tomahawks. I'm a vegetarian, John, so.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I try to understand everybody's opinions on what they like to eat. Vegetarian's okay. You just wouldn't eat well at my house. But well, I don't know. You get along with
John,
Tom.
if you had a heat source, Jenny'd be the type that would bring her own vegetables, marinade sauce over, and everybody. It would accentuate everyone's experience with whatever meat was going on. I promise you.
My wife could survive as a vegetarian. I don't think I could.
Yeah, I couldn't. I could pescatarian. And I put you in a pickle last time. I said, John, if you had to, I put me. Yeah, it's a vegetable. Yeah, it's a pickled vegetable. We talked pickles earlier, Grickles even, and
Grickles.
smoked. But I said, John, if you had to give up one or the other, you had to give up pork for the rest of your life or beef for the rest of your life, which would it be? And I'm pretty sure you gave up pork.
I would give up pork.
Yeah, I was surprised. Come from North Carolina, But,
well, the problem is my favorite thing ever is beef ribs, and I could not do without the beef ribs.
Yeah. John, we're over an hour into this. I don't know how many people are still watching. I'm breaking down and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a brisket video, bro. I don't want to do it. I'm getting pressured into it.
Well, let me give you a tip. First of all, find somebody to sponsor your brisket video where you don't have to pay current prices for brisket.
No, I got that. I got beef. I got beef.
Man, I was sticker shocked when I was in Sam's Club the other day and looked at current brisket prices. It's stupid, man. I'm not gonna cook any more beef. I paid $20 a pound the other day for these ribeye steaks that I cooked.
Oh, I mean, when you're you never know. You're talking Prime, Choice Plus, Choice. I mean,
just Choice. Publix doesn't sell anything that's Prime.
Do they not? I don't have a Publix here. Well, I'm surprised you got a Publix. You got a Publix in your town? I don't have
Publix is in my hometown, which is up 15 miles down the road.
That's not bad. Yeah, I got a Harris Teeter. That's and a co-op, but the co-ops don't have it. They have local beef. I almost caught myself. They don't have good beef. They got local.
You know, I would hate to have to give up either one of them, but if I had to, it would be the pork.
Yeah. If I had to give up one of the, my parents' wedding was a whole hog, a bluegrass band, and a volleyball game. I grew up on whole hog. My town has the largest whole hog cooking competition in the world. Like it's tough for me. And Jenny, who those of you who don't know, my wife Jenny, John's met her. She is the reigning champion of that competition. They didn't have it last year, so she jokes she's the 2-year running champion. But she cooks
by default.
But it's not your average whole hog cooking competition. A lot of times you can't cut off the carcass. You can only score heavy. So she'll take a whole hog and she'll cut a butt and a shoulder off and throw it in the KJ, and that's what she submits to the judges, and the rest just gets chopped up and fed to
Well,
barbecue.
let me just say this: I'm impressed that she knows how to do that because I couldn't do it. I couldn't butcher a hog.
Not only, well, I taught her how to do it. Not only does she know how to do it with gusto, but she has. It is the Kamado Girls. It is an all women's cooking team,
well,
and kids are brought in and encouraged to put on a pair of gloves and help season and inject the hog.
Right. I might could muddle my way through since I do know what the cuts are. I could probably get one out, but I would make a mess trying to do it.
The first two times you would, John. The first two times you would, and then but the first time you do it, you got your associates. The second time you do it, you got your bachelors. The third time you do it, you got your masters, bro.
I understand the anatomy. I understand the scapula. I understand the humerus, and it's just like human anatomy. It's the same bones on the same place. I could get that, but I would. I would make a mess out of it the first time I did it.
Well, you just choke up. It would
get a little bit more complicated getting the loin and the tenderloin out. That won't be quite as easy.
No, once you cut the head off, you just stand it straight up, and you use a cleaver and you go straight down, and then the tenderloin is on the inside of the rib cage and the loin's on the outside. You just don't want to rob too much of the tenderloin from the ribs if you're doing baby backs.
Yeah, Scott Love says he's missing some North Carolina whole hog barbecue, and that's the kind of thing. I'm from North Carolina. Eric's here in North Carolina. I'm not a whole hog guy. I like to celebrate the individual pieces of the animal.
Sure.
And whole hog, these people that do whole hog, I can appreciate that. They have this mantra: it's from the rooter to the tutor, and you don't know what you're getting when you're eating whole hog barbecue because all the meat is chopped up.
When it's a pig picking though, and you're picking it off the hog yourself.
Well, but you're not getting a pig picking when you go to Lexington, or somewhere like that.
When you're coming to my house, John, you're getting your choice, and you and I are going right for the cheeks, baby.
Yeah. Well, I'm into some hog jowls. Let me tell you that. I learned that. I like to buy those 10-pound bags of those when I go down to Heritage Farms, man. Oh man, the hog jowls.
Dude. Equal parts brown sugar and salt with just as much lemon, lime, and orange zest packed on for 3-hour cure and then roasted at 450 degrees for 4 hours. You take it out and then brush it all off, and it's just jello, and you take a bite and it's just like, pow!
It just falls apart.
Jowl is where it's at. This is why I couldn't give up pork. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Like
I would like to try beef cheeks. I haven't been able to get my hands on those. So
they're great. I do a mojo. No, that was a pork cheek I did. That blue smoke slaw that we freaking did and everybody always asks about? Sometimes I'll smoke the beef cheeks with the cabbages and then do a dark beer braised beef cheek. Let me tell you, and anybody watching right now, don't worry about cleaning your beef cheeks too much. That thick, almost elastin looking stuff on the outside is mainly still collagen, and it'll break down on its own because you'll look at them and you'll be like, why did I sign up for this? Because cleaning them is such a nightmare. It's not true. You put them in a braise and it all breaks down. It shreds with a spoon. I mean, it really does.
Will that hold true with the tongue as well? Or do you need
no. Tongue, you need to quick boil and then use a razor blade. I used to serve tongue on my menu at Mixto, which was contemporary Latin on Water Street in Wilmington, North Carolina. Here are the ladies making my tortillas for me.
Yeah.
So with the tongue, you poach it really quickly in boiling water, then take it out and then cut off all the toes. Yeah. And then I cut it into long strips and into, the culinary term would be batonets. but long rectangular pieces, and
Awesome.
braise them in a guajillo ancho chili sauce, and then serve that. Oh, to put that in a tamale, or to serve that on a chili relleno, or just to put it over arroz, over the rice. Christians and the Moors, the rice and the black beans. Beautiful,
Right.
beautiful.
Well, Eric, I appreciate you coming on with me tonight. I don't want to hold you up any longer.
It's
We've been
just
going
getting
an
good,
hour.
John. We should have started like this. I'm sorry. I
We-
started out slow.
We've been going an hour and 20 minutes already, and I appreciate you coming on with us. We'll have you back again sometime soon for sure. I appreciate your willingness to do this, because when I can have a guest on here with me, it keeps me from having to do a bunch of prep and planning up a bunch of things I'm going to talk about for an hour. It's easy with you because you know as well as I do, you and I could go for a week probably and not cover the same topic twice.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're going to wrap things up. I appreciate you coming on with me. I appreciate your wife showing up, talking to us a little bit, and your daughters, beautiful girls. And guys, next week we're taking a week off. Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out how to throw a knife. We'll look into that.
This is your set. This is your set, John.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
Good.
So next week we're going to take a week off from the live stream. I'm not going to be around next weekend, I don't believe. So I think Tanya and I are going to get away for a few days over the weekend, and we are going to resume in 2 weeks. So we won't have anything coming next weekend. So yeah, happy 4th of July to everybody. See, Jason Jackson from down in Melbourne's wishing everybody up here a happy 4th of July. So I'm sure there's a holiday. I don't know what the holiday. Usually there's a lot of associated holidays around the world with some of the U.S.-centric holidays. I don't know what all of them are, unfortunately. I need to look into that a little more. But, yeah, Eric, let's figure out somehow within the next 6 months that you and I can get together and cook again, maybe make some video.
I'd like to do a couple things that just came into my mind. I'd like we need to cook together down at Atlanta Grill Company. Again, I'll be your dishwasher. I would like to come on the show with you when I'm on location in other places around the U.S. I think it'd be fun because I'm just diving into what's local. I don't know what I'm going to cook till I show up and see what's in the market. So that could be some fun.
Well, just let me know as much ahead of time as you can, because I can work you in any week in most cases, because I'm not often having a guest on. But when I'm doing it myself, I can often work you in, and even if it's just for a few minutes or 15 minutes, we can do that. So yeah, just let me know when it's good, and we'll make it happen.
Well, when I'm on the road, I'm by myself, so I got time. I got time.
Okay.
And then lastly, the last thing I'll say, and I'll shut up, I promise. I'd love to host you and Tanya here at the house with our family, and we actually cook together and kick back and relax a little bit. That would be a lot of fun for me.
I'll do that under one circumstance. I'm going to teach your girls how to do a proper cannonball into that swimming pool.
You're going to have some pretty stiff competition with those. So that's a deal.
I don't know. I can make a mean cannonball.
We got a great diving board. Diving board.
All right. We'll make that happen then. All right, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And until 2 weeks from now, everybody have a good holiday weekend.
Happy 14th.